I was already in the car when my mother smiled at me like she was delivering good news. We decided to take your sister instead. The engine idled me hands, rested on the steering wheel me. Father didn't look at me. Your sister needed some rest, my mother added, soft and final. I nodded once. I didn't argue. Silence has always been my sharpest weapon. I had planned this trip for 8 months, 5 cities, first-class flights, a hotel, overlooking the scene. I told myself it was gratitude for sacrifices, for childhood dinners, eaten cold because they were working. That's what I told myself. The truth was simpler. I wanted to belong. My sister never tried. She never had to. Growing up, I learned early how love was distributed in my house. I learned it by observation, like a quiet science. When I brought home awards, my mother smiled and said, "That's nice." When my sister slept till noon, they whispered, "She's sensitive." I became dependable, became protected. I paid my own tuition. I built my career brick by brick. When I started earning real money, I paid their bills without being asked. Booked this trip because I could. Invited myself along because I thought I had finally earned a seat. At the curb that morning, my sister stood behind them with sunglasses already on, passport in hand, pretending not to watch my reaction. She didn't thank me. She never did. I hugged my parents, told them to enjoy Europe. Drove away before they could see what my face was doing. That night, I opened my laptop and canceled my flight. Not there's Minthana. I did something quieter. Reviewed every payment, every transfer, every favor disguised as family duty. Didn't rush. Revenge spoils when it's emotional. Patterns become obvious when you stop pretending not to see them. My parents relied on me financially more than they admitted. My sister relied on them, and by extension, on the house they lived in. My down payment, the car, in my name, the temporary monthly support for my sister. 3 years and counting. I had leverage, just never used it. When they landed in Paris, my mother sent photos. Eiffel Tower smiles. My sister in a new coat. "Wish you were here," the message read. I replied with a heart emoji. Then I called my lawyer. Everything I did next was clean, documented, legal, precise. I restructured the financial support. No more open-ended transfers contracts. Instead, deadline-less conditions. I transferred ownership of the car back to myself. He notified the bank about refinancing the house. Nothing dramatic, just enough to change the monthly reality. I also sent my sister something special, an email, a job application portal link. "Thought this might help," I wrote. She didn't reply. 3 days into their trip, my parents called. A hotel card had declined. "That's strange," my mother said, irritation leaking through. "Must be a system error," I replied calmly. "Me the invoice." I didn't fix it immediately. Let them sit in the lobby. Let the embarrassment marinate. By day 5, my sister was snapping. The budget was tighter than she expected. Europe wasn't as forgiving when you weren't funded by someone else's silence. They came home, exhausted, not rested, smaller, somehow. I picked them up from the airport like nothing had happened, drove them home, helped with the luggage. And when we sat at the kitchen table, did I place the folder between us. "What's this?" my father asked. "Clarity," I said. I walked them through it, slowly. No raised voice, no accusations, just facts. "Here's what I've been paying. Here's what I'm no longer paying. Here's what changes next month." My mother tried to smile again, didn't work this time. "You're punishing us," she said. "No," I replied. "I'm correcting a pattern." My sister exploded, called me selfish, ungrateful, cold. I waited for her to finish. "You chose a free trip over respect," I said. "Now choose responsibility." She laughed. Then she realized I wasn't laughing back. Weeks passed, then months. My sister applied for jobs, complained less. Me parents learned the cost of preference. And not all lessons come gently. They invited me to dinner one evening. Just me, no smiles rehearsed. "We didn't think you'd do all this," my father admitted. "I know," I said. I didn't ask for apologies, didn't need them had already collected what mattered balance or recognition space. Sometimes, revenge isn't loud it doesn't slam doors or raise voices sometimes. It simply removes the illusion that someone can take from you without consequence. I still think about that morning at the curb the smile decision made. Without me it doesn't hurt anymore, it reminds me. I didn't lose a trip to Europe. I gained something far more valuable. I stopped paying for my own betrayal.